Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Thursday, the 4th day of January. It is Dimpled Chad Day. Remember the election?
I do remember.
2020?
What a mess that was.
Yeah, apparently today was the day they were working on dimpled chads or something. Free Flower Basket Day, Hypnotism Day, National Canado Day, National Spaghetti Day, National Trivia Day. You know why it's National Trivia Day?
I don't.
I don't either, but it'd be great if I had an answer.
That would
then
be
it
a great
yeah,
trivia
would have been
question.
a good question for trivia. Tom Thumb Day, World Braille Day, all of this stuff happening on this Thursday. And I have a Dear John letter. A guy who thinks his in-laws owe him some money. And maybe they do. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll find out what everybody else thinks on our Facebook page, but it's quite the conundrum he's put himself in. We'll chat all about that coming up in just a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you ever get credit card offers in the mail? Those are usually the worst offers. The people who actually read their junk mail end up paying the price in the long run. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a credit card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it.
Give yourself a little credit.
Get a better credit card.
Switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. So how's the resolution going, everybody? Or is making resolutions even a thing? Not really, according to a survey. 55% of adults say that they don't even do that anymore. They say it's a millennials thing. In particular, 66% who feel especially done with the classic resolution. On the other hand, while respondents said they tend to find resolutions unrealistic, the one poll survey found that 52% of those who do are still interested in setting goals for themselves this year. And what is one of the hardest to keep? According to Gen Z and millennials, they have the most difficult time with money-related resolutions. Gen Xers, 47%, and baby boomers, 46%, struggle most with sticking to food-related resolutions.
Yep.
Heidi says.
We're doing great this year, though, so far.
I was going
early.
to say Heidi says as she's opening a snack, but she's not. She's
I'm not.
She's
I've been doing
putting
awesome.
stamps on an envelope or something. I don't know what I just hear a bunch of noise over there. It sounded like you're opening a Snickers to
I
me.
am not, no.
All right. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Invite your friends and family over to make memories with a fun game night. VerySpecialGames.com has 5 fun games that will help everyone have a blast. Games like Ransom Notes, the ridiculous word magnet game, Abduction, a weirdly strategic game of duck kidnapping, Vins with Benefits, the hilarious Venn diagram game, Puns of Anarchy, the outrageous pun-making game, and Charty Party, the game of absurdly funny charts. Find these fun games and more at VerySpecialGames.com. That's VerySpecialGames.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know how important it is to get a good night's rest?
Yes.
It's very important. Enough so that you'd go without the internet for a year, giving up access to social media, online shopping, and all of your favorite websites in order to get enough sleep, they're saying.
Absolutely. I would.
In a new survey, almost half of Americans would take that offer if it meant getting high-quality sleep every night. The poll of 2,000 adults shows 45% would be willing to give up the internet for a year.
I would.
I don't think I would do that. 43% said they would give up their phone. 41% would do without their car. And 37% would forego a promotion at work to get enough sleep.
I would. You would not?
I wouldn't. Here's the thing.
I would give up anything to be able to sleep well every
Just
single night because I
Go
don't.
to sleep. You don't have to give up anything.
You clearly don't have that issue, which is
Yeah.
why you wouldn't give anything up.
No.
If you struggled with sleeping, you
Well, here's
would give
the thing.
up anything.
When I wake up at night and you're awake, you're on your phone, and I say, hey, put your phone away. All you got to do is put your phone down at night. You don't need to go without it for a whole year. We're married, by the way. That's how I see her when she's sleeping and know when she's awake and whether she's been naughty or nice, for goodness sake. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Ian Ziering from Sharknado. He went into Sharknado mode New Year's Eve after being attacked by some bikers in Hollywood. Have you read this story?
no.
There's a video, TMZ video, that's floating around. He can be seen approaching the bikers with mini bikes that swarmed into traffic. The 90210 alum seems to have exited his vehicle. Then things quickly escalated. One of the bikers, they were being very violent. There was like a fight that broke out.
Holy
Then
cow.
he jumped back in his vehicle to comfort his daughter who was sitting in there waiting.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what all was going on, but there's a lot going on. That video is online. And Wonka led the weekend box office over the holiday weekend, grabbing an estimated $23.7 million. That's the third weekend, by the way, rising to $32 million when New Year's Day estimates were included, because that doesn't officially hit the weekend total, but it was a Monday. So anyway, they've done okay.
They've done all right.
Yeah. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
If your plan for the new year involves getting your financial life in order, I suggest you start with your mobile phone bill. How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Learn more now at Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. So, how did New Year's Day morning go? Aside from a pounding headache, maybe? A little topsy-turvy stomach, maybe? Were you also suffering from the effects of hangxiety, maybe? I was not. Were you,
No,
Heidi?
not at all.
None of that. As a matter of fact, we went to bed
We were
early.
in bed so early.
The only
We're
reason
lame.
I woke up at all at midnight is I heard somebody shooting off fireworks. And our dog barked. I'm like, what is going on? And I was
pretty
like,
lame.
why? Is that gunshots? And I was like, oh, it's New Year's Eve. It's midnight. It's fireworks. But have you ever heard of hangxiety? That is a newish term being applied to the experience of feeling embarrassed after a night of intoxicated celebration.
I could see that.
But not for any reason in particular. Yet, it's a mashup of the words hangover and anxiety.
Yes, it is.
And it's a current pop cultural buzzword for feeling extremely anxious while being hungover. On TikTok, hashtag hangxiety has over 180 million views. Did you know that?
I did not.
Most of the videos show younger adults cringing or making fun of what they said or what they did from the night before, from drunk texts to an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend to forgetting how they got home. The common thread is that they are worried or anxious about how they might have embarrassed themselves. But fear not, hangxiety sufferers. Experts say that even though you might have the feeling that everybody's talking about how embarrassing you were and how weird you were last night, they're probably not. And one of the effects of alcohol is an increase in anxiety the very next day. So they're saying it's completely normal. Right. Now, at the end of the day, here's some good advice. Don't put yourself in a situation where you don't remember the night before. That's probably the best advice I can give. Especially if you end up getting home somehow and you don't know how. Please don't do that. Horrible idea. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Invite your friends and family over to make memories with a fun game night. VerySpecialGames.com has 5 fun games that will help everyone have a blast. Games like Ransom Notes, the ridiculous word magnet game, Abduction, a weirdly strategic game of duck kidnapping, Vins with Benefits, the hilarious Venn diagram game, Puns of Anarchy, the outrageous pun-making game, and Charty Party, the game of absurdly funny charts. Find these fun games and more at VerySpecialGames.com. That's VerySpecialGames.com.
And it's time right now for Dear John Letters. I think this is an interesting conundrum this gentleman has found himself in. Dear John, I can see Heidi cares. What are you doing over there?
Sorry.
She's zoned out. Dear John, I think my wife's parents owe me at least $250. They're really picky and they love snacks, but only snacks they really love. So we have this agreement. Every time they come to see us, they send us a list of things that they'd like us to have. It takes a lot of stress out of planning the visit, and it works for us. They usually send Venmo or PayPal for a couple $100s before they get here. They came to visit over the holidays, and they sent a huge list. Great, no problem. Along with the list, they immediately sent a payment for over $500.
Okay.
I'm thinking, this is more than fair. And they probably want to give us a little extra because, it's Christmas and they're staying so long. Also great. But I made a huge mistake. When I got the PayPal notification, I somehow accidentally clicked refund payment and sent the money back.
Oh.
I didn't realize this at all until they told my wife how great it was that I got their stuff for them and didn't accept payment this time.
Oh.
Now, I don't know what to do. I want the money. I need it. But if I ask for it back, I feel like a jerk. And maybe even worse, what if they think that this is what we want from now on? Maybe they take this as a sign that they won't even have to offer money next time. I may have accidentally set a new standard. How do I walk this back
Yikes.
without causing some kind of problem? Signed, not smart son-in-law. So, first of all, I just got to say, one more reason I really appreciate my mother and father-in-law. They are so easy.
They are.
Charlie, Heidi's dad, he likes a certain brand of beer. It's called Schlitz. So we'll get that, but it's not super expensive.
No,
it's super
it's not.
affordable.
It's
It
not.
is harder and harder to find it, though.
It really is. It's
And then
not-
there was like one place we could get it, and then we go there to get it, and they're like, "No, we quit selling that. We haven't sold that in a year." I'm like, that was me. I was here a year ago. So anyway, I can only imagine this has got to be difficult. I'm trying to think, what in the world could they even want for snacks? It would cost $250. Now he says that he thinks
they
they
must
owe.
be pretty high end snacks.
He thinks that they owe $250. They had sent $500, but he was thinking, oh, they
Right.
probably sent more because they're staying longer or whatever.
Right. I don't know what to tell you on that one. That one's kind of a tricky situation.
And the thing that really is not so great is that you didn't notice right away. Because if you'd noticed right away, you could have sent a message to them and said, "Hey, I am so sorry. I hit the wrong button. I didn't
Right.
mean to do that. And you don't need to do that. It's only $250." So you could have even told them then that it doesn't have to be quite as much.
Right.
And I think there's still a way out of this. It doesn't even say in here if he's told his wife this yet. So I kind of wonder if she knows. Because he found out when, I guess she knows because she said something to him, that she's the one that said, I didn't realize it until
I
my
would
wife
ask
told
your
me.
wife how she wants it handled.
Yeah. And, he's saying, I want the money, I need it. So if you guys are not doing well financially and you're saying, hey, this is going to cause a major issue, then you certainly need to get this
Right,
ironed
for
out.
sure.
Especially if they come to visit quite often. And again, I'm still trying to figure out what in the world they would even need that would be that
I
expensive.
mean, if they're asking for crab legs and
It's
stuff
just-
like
yeah,
that,
it's
maybe,
like,
but
they
yeah,
need a
that's
certain
insane.
type of caviar and these very expensive imported fine wines. I don't know. I have no idea. We have different problems. I struggle to find the cheap beer that I was talking about. So. And the cool thing is, there have been times when Heidi's parents were coming to visit and I couldn't find that. And then he was like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. So it's not
Yeah.
like it was a deal breaker. So I don't know your situation. I don't know what these people are like, And again, if they have expensive taste, maybe they have the money to back it up as well. And this is not a big deal at all to them. Like he said in the message, they were giving him like twice as much as they needed.
Right.
So I think
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
that it's only a big deal because you've let this much time go.
I mean,
think
if it was over Christmas, you could just say you were looking at your statement at the end of the month and you
Yeah.
just realized I accidentally, whatever. So
Yeah. So there's probably a way. And again, definitely have your wife involved in this conversation because wives are smarter than we are. She can help you probably put this out without an issue at all. She could even just say to her mom or her dad, whoever it is that does this, hey, you know what? My clumsy husband hit the wrong button. We just realized that. Can you resend that? And it'll probably be taken care of. So my advice, just tell them what happened. If you've got advice, you can chime in at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Do you ever get credit card offers in the mail? Those are usually the worst offers. The people who actually read their junk mail end up paying the price in the long run. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a credit card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it.
Give yourself a little credit.
Get a better credit card.
Switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
what's that, John?
Earth is closest to the sun this month in January. You wouldn't think that. You'd think that it would be closest to the sun like a different month, but this is the month we're closest to the sun. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The southern hemisphere is typically milder winters than the northern hemisphere because it has less land and a more maritime climate. Okay. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You do not need a driver's license to be a NASCAR driver. You know what? I actually talked to a NASCAR driver that said they needed a golden driver's license. So that's different than a regular driver's
All
license.
right.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
No two cornflakes are identical. Well, has anybody looked at all of them? Really? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Reincarnation is forbidden in China without government permission.
Okay.
And our final fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
There are about 20 obscene words in the English language, but there are about 800 in the Latin language. So there you go. Now you know several fun facts. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Invite your friends and family over to make memories with a fun game night. VerySpecialGames.com has 5 fun games that will help everyone have a blast. Games like Ransom Notes, the ridiculous word magnet game, Abduction, a weirdly strategic game of duck kidnapping, Vens with Benefits, the hilarious Venn diagram game, Puns of Anarchy, the outrageous pun-making game, and Charty Party, the game of absurdly funny charts. Find these fun games and more at VerySpecialGames.com. That's VerySpecialGames.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. Stats show that 15% of us will do this during the month of January. What is it? 15%.
Go on a diet.
No, will suffer an exercise-related injury. Have you ever hurt yourself exercising?
I don't believe so.
I've hurt myself getting dressed to go exercising. So it's like, oh, I pulled a muscle in my leg. You're like, oh, working out? No, just putting on my sweatpants to go work out. I'm not in good shape. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
If your plan for the new year involves getting your financial life in order, I suggest you start with your mobile phone bill. How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Learn more now at Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Some people are trying to lose weight the old-fashioned way through diet and exercise. And there are scientists that are living in 2024 that say, we've got a better way to drop pounds. How about some vibrating pills? What?
Vibrating pills?
Yeah, MIT researchers say they wanted to come up with a non-invasive method for treating obesity, thereby reducing associated risks and costs. Lead author Shreya Sirvanna, I'm sure I got it all wrong, I apologize. Anyway, the lead author explains that the stomach expands, receptors there tend to signal to the brain to tell it to stop eating due to a sense of fullness. So his team came up with a small ingestible capsule that would vibrate the receptors in your stomach, giving it the perception that the entire stomach has been expanded. The pill was given to a group of 20 pigs 20 minutes before mealtime.
That's unfortunate.
Vibrations lasted for 30 minutes, and after 108 meals, it was determined that the pigs had reduced their food intake by 40%, leading to a weight loss without any side effects. Scientists say they are working to take this technology forward and give it to human pigs like me. I added that last part. All right. I could probably use that, but I don't think I got to use it.
No.
Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Thing we learned about animals in 2023. I didn't know any of this stuff. Like cats have 276 distinct facial expressions. Somebody counted last year. Rats probably have an imagination. Okay?
Probably.
A new drug might be able to extend your dog's life. I heard about that one. Some female frogs may fake their death to avoid unwanted advances from male frogs. I think my wife does that. You okay? Hello? Oh, no. Chin-strap penguins can nap over 10,000 times in a day. Wow. Kids who live with cats and dogs tend to have fewer food allergies. That's cool. Seagulls decide what to eat by watching people. Humans can correctly understand the meaning of chimp and bonobo gestures. Given unlimited access to the outdoors, your pet cat would eat 2,084 different species of animals and insects, including cows, if they came across a dead one. And our final thing on the list, roosters can recognize their own reflection in a mirror, meaning roosters are probably self-aware. Those were all things we learned about our pets and animals in 2023.
Invite your friends and family over to make memories with a fun game night. VerySpecialGames.com has 5 fun games that will help everyone have a blast. Games like Ransom Notes, the ridiculous word magnet game, Abduction, a weirdly strategic game of duck kidnapping, Vens with Benefits, the hilarious Venn diagram game, Puns of Anarchy, the outrageous pun-making game, and Charty Party, the game of absurdly funny charts. Find these fun games and more at VerySpecialGames.com. That's VerySpecialGames.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com. Quote today is from Rita Mae Brown, who says, "One of the keys to happiness is a bad memory." I like that. Sadly, I think that is oftentimes true, because there are things where you're like, why didn't we should go there. We haven't been there forever. Why don't we go there? And then you get there and you're like, oh yeah,
This is why.
This is why we don't go there. So I agree with Rita Mae Brown. And our quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I think this is kind of a cool story here. This is, again, this time of year, we will have some stories that have to do with Christmas, because the Christmas stories came out like, a week ago, and then they're finally working their way through the internet to us, like this one. Lady wrote a book in 1972. It was rejected over and over and over. And on Christmas, her grandson surprised her with her book.
Oh,
Yeah.
he had it printed for her.
Yes.
That's very sweet.
The magic of the season unfolded in a heartwarming story of Barbara Rico, a grandmother whose long-lost dream was finally unwrapped by her grandson, Chad Cooper, in an extraordinary holiday surprise. Back in 1972, so this now is over 50 years ago.
Right.
She penned a heartfelt children's book that held her dreams and aspirations within its pages. Despite her best efforts, the manuscript faced repeated rejection from publishers, leading to her eventually just setting aside her dream of becoming a published author. Little did she know that decades later, her grandson would turn those dreams into a reality.
Oh,
her
how
grandson,
sweet.
Chad Cooper, designed and produced, he's a professional, what is it? A design and production professional based in New York City, decided to give his grandmother the ultimate Christmas gift, the publication of her cherished book. He visited her in Baltimore for the holidays. He secretly took her original manuscript, along with the illustrations she had commissioned from an artist in Vietnam many years ago, and transformed it into a beautiful book. And you can actually see her unwrap this gift, and it is such a cool video. Because just imagine if that was your dream and you wanted to do this. Well, now the book is available, and people are buying it like crazy.
Oh, I bet. That's
And you
fantastic.
I've got a
I
link to
love
the
it.
book. I've got the story. I've got the videos, the photos, all of that. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.